Jagged. Jai Masters. Such a statement that I have not a care in this world, that I need not a thing in this world, is almost un-American. What does that mean? Because very few people have experienced that. Great beings experience that. What does it mean to need? It's a very important discussion, at least once in your life, honestly. What does it mean to need? It means you are lacking something. So it means the need. There's something lacking. There's something missing. If I need food, because I don't have enough food. If I need love, I don't have enough love. If I need acceptance of others, I don't have enough, friendship, acceptance. To need is to be saying, I am lacking something. The other way to look at it is to say, let's say you're not lacking something. You're absolutely full of it. You're not going to say, I need it. You wouldn't even begin to say. It would be the last thing in the world you say you need. That which you have plenty of and you're full of. All right? So this thing becomes a question of lacking. It's not a question of need. It's a question of lacking. If there's lacking, the result is need. So the core is the lacking. So let's not talk about physical things. It's easy to talk about physical things. There are certain physical things the body needs. It's a living organism. It needs air. How much, who knows? But it needs air. It needs some food. Let's get down to the cellular level. Your body needs that which your cells need in order to exist, in order to carry out their functions. Very good. Those are not what we mean by need. Very rarely are we talking about that type of need. We're talking about our psychological needs. So let's take one that's very sensitive, that no one will dare to talk about like we do. Love. Let's talk about love. I need love. That's a very common thing for people to say. I need someone to love. I need love. It means I don't feel satisfied with the state of love that I'm experiencing. Therefore, I am in need of love. From that point, and you all know about that point because you're human, from that point, there's two directions you can go in. And you need to listen to this because it'll determine your entire life as to what road you're taking. One is to say, I feel a lacking of love. I do not feel the love that I wish to feel, that I want to feel. All right? So you ask the question, where exactly will I feel the love when I do feel it? In my hand, in my ear, or inside of me? So love is something you feel inside of you. It's not something you feel outside of you. It is something you feel inside of you. If you were feeling tons of love, real love, love, that beautiful feeling when your heart opens up and you feel all this love. If you were feeling tons of that, would you say, I need love? No. So what you're admitting is that you are not experiencing inside of you the level of love inside that you want to experience. So you're feeling a lack of love inside and so you say, I need love. So this choice that I said is going to determine the rest of your life is where you go from there. Because you have two choices. One, you try to find something outside of you that will make you feel love. Something or someone outside of you that will make you feel love. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a car. It could be money. It could be fame. There are all kinds of things that open your heart, aren't there? But you need to find something outside of you that makes you feel love. That's one direction you can go with that. The other direction is very interesting. It is to say, love is an experience that I feel inside of me. Why am I not feeling it? It's inside of me. Why do I need something outside of me to make it so I can feel something inside of me? My house is dark. There are light switches all over the place, but I don't know how to find them or turn them on. So I need to find someone outside to come in and figure out what's wrong, make it so that the light will go on inside. Or shine the light, that's better. I need someone to come by and shine their light inside my house so I can see where I'm going. That's just weird. Why don't we just turn your lights on inside? And so this question of what are you going to do because you feel or experiencing a lacking of love, are you going to go outside and devote your life to trying to find something or someone outside of you that will make you feel love inside? or you're going through this extremely unique and rare but really powerful thing, which is to say, love is something I experience inside of me. It exists inside of me. I need to find out why I am not feeling the level of love that I wish to feel. They're two totally different things. Your mind will say to you, well, it's obvious because you haven't found the thing outside that will make you feel it. That's not true. That's not why I can't see inside my house, because I haven't found the person that will shine their flashlight in. That is not true. Like, my house can normally be lit. I don't need somebody else's light. But your mind is not used to that. Your mind is used to that the only time you experience love is when somebody is nice to you, or somebody attracts you, or somebody who you like tells you these things from outside can open up your heart, and then you feel love. But it doesn't stay. Not one of you can look me in the eye and say, the exact total love when my heart burst open when I first met this person or this horse or this car, I don't care, right, whatever it is, that it stayed. It just kept happening every time I saw this person forever. Not one of you will say it. Because that which causes your heart to open can cause your heart to close. It's a conditional situation. You've created conditions outside of you that are necessary in order for you to feel love inside of you. And I'm going to be extremist today. I would love if you didn't do that. Why? Because I know it doesn't work. And so does everybody else. They just won't admit it. If you go outside of you to find something that will make you feel something inside of you, you're in big trouble. Because you become dependent on the thing outside of you to experience what you want to experience inside. You understand that? That's how need leads to dependency. If you've said, I need something outside of me because I feel a lacking of love. One, you may not find it, then you'll be resentful, dry, mad, and, jealous of everybody else, all this kind of stuff, right? Two, you may find it and then feel, they call it transferring. You projected your need inside onto this person, place, or thing. Now all of a sudden, instead of needing love, you need this person. Does anybody know anything about that? That's what happens, isn't it? And all of a sudden, you've externalized this thing that you were looking for inside, which is this feeling of love. Now you're not trying to feel love, you're trying to please this person. You have to please the person to keep them liking you so that maybe you will feel love inside of you when they're nice to you. So now you're not looking for love, you're looking for how to please this person. You're looking for how to earn enough money to go on a vacation so that the thing all of a sudden you're looking for all these myriad things outside in order to try to appease somebody or please somebody or attract somebody, so that the net result maybe is that periodically you'll feel the jolt of love. It's true, isn't it? And what I find hilarious is that you're not looking for love anymore. You're not looking for something inside of you. You're looking to please or attract or satisfy something outside of you that you think will make you feel this inside of you. It's called indirection. Those of you who work with computer programming and stuff, we call that indirection. You set this up, which points to that, which points to this, points to that, hoping that it will come back again. Right? So you're using indirection in order to get what you're looking for. It's the funniest thing I ever heard of. Once you get past that, it looks so ridiculous. If you were hungry and there was food in front of you, but you decided you couldn't eat it until somebody fed it to you, but not just any somebody, somebody who liked you and was attractive and you liked, right, et cetera, et cetera. You set up all these conditions and now you're hungry. But you can't eat. That's what it looks like to someone that stopped doing that. To someone that went inside to find the love inside and found it, because it's in there, all right? That's what we're going to talk about. To see what people go through, it's almost, you're talking about compassion, what people go through to try and find somebody and then appease them and then win their favors and then make sure that everything's exactly right, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and then get all upset when something's not and then find somebody else. And, hey, how many people have you found so far? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's an amazing thing. And yet, people still need love. So you come down to where you eventually catch on. And I'm not going to talk about the path where you decide to go outside and find something that makes you feel love, because everybody knows everything about that. That's what everybody's doing. Very few know about sitting there saying, wait a minute, love is an experience I feel inside of me. Why don't I go in there inside of me, find it, and stay there? There's a place inside of you where there's love. You've been there. You say, I'm in love. Well, what do you mean you're in? Did you get in a jar? Did you jump in the water? That's how we use pronouns like that. You got in something. And that's exactly what you mean. I like that. I fell in love, like falling in the water. How do you fall in love? That's the funniest thing I ever heard of. But every one of these words are exactly expressive of what we experience, isn't it? I, who was here in my mind worrying about everything, fell from there into this beautiful place inside of me called love. And now I'm drowning in it, and I like it. I like it. I'll follow him or her anywhere. I'll do anything. I don't care. All right? I fell into love. Fair enough? Okay. If you can fall into love, you didn't fall outside. You fell inside. So basically, I want to discuss how to do that by yourself. Hope that doesn't sound boring. All right? How to do that anytime you want by yourself and go as deep for as long as you want, completely independent of anything that's going on outside of you. So would you like to learn that? They taught you how to ride a bike. They taught you how to read. They didn't teach you this, did they? All right? More important. So basically, and now just so we get it down, because I know you'll be complaints later, well, what about my social responsibilities? What about, there's a world out there, right? If I just go in here and dive in there, it's like, it sounds wrong. It's unsocial. It's antisocial. Okay? I'll tell you what I think is antisocial. I think it's antisocial to not be okay inside yourself. You know, somehow you blocked yourself off from the love you should be feeling inside. And what you do about that is try to manipulate and control people and places outside of you to get them to be the way you need them to be so that you can feel a little love inside. And when they're not that way, you yell at them. You do stuff, all right? They best behave. I think that's antisocial. That's not a nice thing to do. If you have a problem inside yourself, you should take care of it within yourself. You shouldn't be dumping it on somebody else in the name of love. That's not love. That's need. Love is something you're experiencing. It's fulfilling. When you don't feel love, you feel need. To go out and act based on that need is to manipulate and control, isn't it? And we do it purposely. We try to do it really well. How to win friends and influence people. That's a positive thing to them. No. How to be completely content inside yourself so that people who like you, and people who don't, and they're both fun. There's a person over there, relax, I want you to meet her. Right? Oh, that person hates me. Oh my God, you should see what they say. That's the one who says all that bad stuff. It's like, oh, would I love you to be like that? Then I would never have to worry about you. You're fine within yourself. If you're not fine within yourself, and you're manipulating, controlling people outside of you to try to be fine within yourself, I may be the first one to tell you this. That's not nice. So you just get to the point where you start saying, what kind of game is this in the name of love? Love is a beautiful thing. That doesn't sound beautiful. The difference between need and love is the difference between night and day. Love is something that's fulfilling. It's something that feeds you from inside. It makes you strong. Need is something that's weak. It makes you manipulate and control and take from other people. Love gives. Why? Because it's so full that it can't help itself but to give. A lake that's so full overflows. It can't help itself because it overflows. That is what happens with love. Need, it takes. It manipulates and takes. And oh my God, they're totally different things. So at some point in your life, you have to decide. If I am feeling non-fulfillment of love, if I don't feel whole and complete with the level of love I'm experiencing, do I want to play the game that everybody else does of trying to set up and create and somehow get situations outside of me that will make it so I feel more love momentarily, conditionally? We call that conditional love. Conditionally because of what's going on outside. Or do I want to do this very unique work of going inside, finding out where the love is inside of me and going there? Because it is in there. This I guarantee you. How do you know? Well, it pops up every once in a while, doesn't it? It's really not chemistry. Oh, it's the chemistry between them. No, it's not. How about if I told you, in the end, it has nothing to do with the other person? You know, they say that, oh, our chemistry together. You said, there's no chemistry. Bring the chemist in. Show it to me. Right? There isn't any. It is not about your relationship with the other person. It's about your relationship with yourself. Because what is happening is you are blocking yourself from experiencing the love that is completely natural and totally abundant inside of you. But you're blocking yourself from experiencing it. We'll talk about how in a minute. But this is what's really going on. You're blocking yourself from experiencing it. Just like the person who has the food, but won't eat until the right person feeds them. Well, you did that. All right? And nobody told you to set up those conditions. So now what you've done is you've blocked your love, so you can't feel it. And you've said, I can only feel the love that's inside of me. I will only let myself, wait, I'm going to make it really sound weird. I will only let myself eat if the right person comes and feeds me the right way using this right silverware and does it just right. Okay, well, that's weird because you're going to die of hunger. And it's your fault. No, it's not. It's the other person who didn't do it right. No. You set up those conditions. It's your fault. So I'm not going to feel the love that I really want to feel that's inside of me until I meet someone who's at least 6'2" and really nice tan and I set up these conditions. Should I start seeing someone like that, you should see what happens inside of me. You just, my heart starts to burst open just at the thought of it. Like, wow. Be it a boy, girl, any way you want to paint it. You've done the same thing with love that I just painted you the picture the other person did with food. I'm telling you, love is abundant inside of you. It has absolutely nothing to do with another person, place, or thing. It is completely abundant inside of you. And anytime you've ever experienced it, you're experiencing it inside of you. And when you didn't feel it at all, and it seemed like it wasn't there, all of a sudden, something happened. You saw something, you heard something, and it burst. Can music make you feel love? Can you all of a sudden hear something, a sound that reminds you of something, and all of a sudden your heart just gets filled with love because you hear music? Right? Art can make you feel love. It's not just people. A sunset can make you feel love. A flower can make you feel love. Just all of a sudden you see this beautiful thing. It's just, whoa. An insect can make you feel love if you're open to it, all right? Otherwise, an insect will make love go away. So you start catching on the following, and this is where we're going. There's tremendous love inside of you, inside of everybody, period. There's tremendous love. Enough love to where you could pass out because it comes up so strong inside of you. You need to learn to handle it, right? You have to learn to handle the amount of love that can go on inside of you. You, yourself, set up conditions, we'll talk about why in a minute, that you are not allowed to feel that love. It's really funny. It's like you're punishing yourself. Go to your room, and you can't come out until, right? So you're not to experience this love until you meet this person, and this thing happens, and that happens, and so on and so forth, and so on and so on. You set up all these conditions inside your mind that said, only if this happens can I feel love. And then when things start happening that appear to match that, I'm telling you, you will start getting excited. And if something actually happens, comes close enough, that thing you call chemistry will take place. It is not chemistry. It is your mind permitting you to come out of your room. Your mind. How do I know that? If there's this tremendous chemistry going on between you and him or her or whatever it is, and you're just feeling it starts, you know how it gets at first, it's sort of like, wow, like the air gets thinner, right? You can hardly breathe, right or wrong, right? You're like, oh, it takes your breath away. That's you opening. There's no lack of breath going on here. That person's not the north wind. It's not changing the amount of oxygen in the air. It is that your mind is starting to open up. So you start getting excited about the fact that you might be able to feel love because the conditions look right. And then let's say it is. And let's say just the whole thing happens. Just, oh, my air gets thin, birds are singing, right? And everything's that way. Your heart bursts open. And you're going to say to me, oh, this person was just perfect for me. The chemistry was amazing between us. We must have been past lives for 30 past lives together. I don't know what it was. Watch. Have them do one single thing that you didn't expect. One single thing. Like in the middle of all this love, burp or something, all right? Or, okay, or say something weird or do something or call you a little nickname that they used to call you just like boopsie or something, right? It's just like, whoa, no, I'm not a boopsie. All it takes is one tiny little thing. What happened to the chemistry? Went away pretty quick, didn't it? I'm telling you, this is telling you something. You're doing it. Now, if, on the other hand, your mother who died when you were 6 used to call you her little poopsie, and all of a sudden this person says, I love you, poopsie. Oh, your heart is going to burst totally open. We're like investigative reporters exposing the sham that goes on in the name of love, all right? It's like, that's not chemistry. It's you. You're doing it. You're opening and you're closing. And when you open, you feel love. And when you close, you don't. And so it's not that you're out there looking for love. You're out there looking for somebody that will match what you decided it needs to look like for you to let yourself open and feel love. Now that is stupid. It's just as stupid as a person who's hungry as could be, going to die of hunger when the food is right in front of them, but they are so conditioned by the way they set up their thoughts that I can't eat it myself, somebody has to give it to me. That is how we're living our lives. And a wise person doesn't do that anymore. A wise person says, this thing I am seeking is inside of me. If I am setting up conditions that limit how much I can feel it, I'm going to stop setting up those conditions. Because if I stop setting up the conditions, I'll be able to feel it more. And that'll be the end of that. Now, does that mean that I'm antisocial? It does not mean you're antisocial. It's the opposite. I told you that. If you're out there manipulating, controlling people because you're trying to take from them and then throwing them away when they're not the way you want them to be, and that's exactly what people do, right? Wow. And so this now, if you go and work on yourself to get rid of these conditions, you will start feeling more love. That's not antisocial. Because you feel love, you can share love. You can give love. You know, the problem is going to be there's too much love, right? You have to learn how to live in a society that only wants to deal with one-on-one, where you feel more love for everybody than their spouses do, than their best friend does, than anything. And you don't even know their name. That's when you're going to learn about love, right? Learn how to handle it. Learn how to be able to be there, filled with it, without having to make a mishigas out of it. A big mess. And so basically, that's what we're going to talk about. So what you do is you start this process of taking inventory of what you're doing inside. And you're going to see, if you look, that you're doing what I said, that you are setting up conditions for your happiness, that you're setting up conditions for you to feel love, that you can't feel love or you can't be happy until what you decided you wanted to happen, happens. It sounds so normal, it sounds trite, right? That until things are the way you want them, you can't feel love and you can't be happy, right? And you also do the opposite one, which is, if things are the way I don't want them to be, of course I can't feel love. I have to feel pain and sorrow and problems. And so you have set up in your mind these conditions. I hope you see them now because they came in this other way. You set up in your mind the conditions that are necessary to happen outside in order for you to feel love or to feel happy. And what I'm telling you is you can take down those conditions. And if you take down those conditions, you will feel love all the time. And people challenge me with that, so let me say it again. You will feel love all the time. That's how prevalent love should be. It should just be flowing inside of you. You should have trouble handling it. You have to contain yourself. You have to start finding what's proper, etc., to be able to contain yourself. And you should feel joy all the time. Every one of you are capable of that, except that you set up these conditions for yourself, and therefore they're not happening. And therefore, if I say to you, why are you not happy? You will give me the list of the conditions that haven't happened, which you said need to happen to make you happy. That list that you made of the things that will make you happy, they are not the things that will make you happy. They are the things that have ruined your happiness by saying only if those happen can I be happy. I hope that sounds absurd to you. Happiness is the state that you feel when you stop it with these lists of what you want and what you don't want, and what you need and what you don't need. And therefore you're able to tune into this beautiful energy that's inside of you that feeds you spontaneously from inside, that is transcendent to all of this stuff. It's just your natural state. That is called the spiritual energy, and that is your spiritual state. And it exists inside of everybody, and it isn't hard to find, and it isn't hard to come in touch with. In fact, it's so prevalent that you have to make sure you stop it from happening. You stop yourself. The conditions aren't the way you want them to be. You're like, wake up, stop it. What does the matter with you? You can't feel love now. You can't feel good now. You can't be married now because you always want to have children. You always want to have that. The person doesn't earn enough money. Are you kidding? So basically the mind sets up these conditions that says, I can't be happy until this happens. And the minute you do that, I'm telling you, you're a dead duck. Because you can't make the world be the way your mind wants it to be. I've been through that 1,000 times with you. The world is constantly changing. It's not under your control. The events are just unfolding like an ocean in front of you. And you have these conditions. So what you find, and very few people are willing to listen to this, but I like that you are, is that you just start devoting your life to getting rid of that list that you have inside of you. And instead you have the following thing going on inside of you. If I don't feel enough love, it's my fault. It is something I'm doing inside of me that is blocking me from experiencing the love that is completely natural inside of me. If I don't feel enough joy, enough enthusiasm, enough excitement, if I'm not passionate, if I'm not passionate about things, it isn't because of the thing, it's because of me. If I'm not passionate about my job, it's not because I have the wrong job. It's because I don't know how to let my passion flow in a broad spectrum of conditions. I think it has to be in this tiny little situation that I decided because I felt inspired once before, that's what inspires me. It could have been something else that inspired you, and then you'd say that's what inspires you. You have to get to the point where you don't play that game with yourself anymore. Let's go to the extreme. Here's the extreme. I would like to be turned on by everything. How about you? I would like to feel overwhelming love for everyone and everything that I experience for the rest of my life. I would like to feel passionate about anything I get to do. My God, it's like I have to hold myself back. I can't sleep at night because I'm so excited about what I get to do tomorrow. And then every minute of every day, I just throw myself into it completely. I don't want to stop. I don't want to come home. But then when I come home, oh my God, I'm passionate about being home. That's how I want you to live. Ooh, I like you. All right? You can live like that. There is nothing stopping you but you. There is no limit to the amount of Shakti, of chi, of spirit that you have inside of you. And when it's flowing, you feel passion, you feel love, you feel enthusiasm, you feel creativity. You're an artist. You're there. When it's not flowing, you feel dry, you feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel needy, you feel lost. So the question is not how to find the thing outside of you that will make you overcome the obstacle you set inside of you. It is about stop setting the obstacle and everything will be fine. Oh, you mean everything will be the way I want? No, I don't mean that. Don't you dare think I mean that. I am not saying if you do this, some mystical power will happen and all of a sudden everything outside will be the way you always wanted it. In other words, this is not another way of getting what you want. This is a way of getting what you really want. But if what you did was say, I have need, now I have to figure out how to get it. No, it is about you realizing what I am seeking is inside of me. And the only place I'm going to find it is inside of me. And if I am blocking myself from going inside, I need to fix that. So now let's talk about it. You can have love. You can have joy. You can have passion. You can have enthusiasm, excitement, creativity. These are your natural state. It's not just you can have it. It's what you are, right? You are the greatest thing that ever walked the face of this earth. You are a very, very high being. And there's not a single thing that you ever did or could ever do that will damage that part of you. How you like that? You can damage your body. You can mess up your mind seriously. But you cannot damage your being. You are pure light. Just like the light shining on something. Oh, but I shined on something really bad. Doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the light. The light is just illuminating it. No matter how long it shines on it, and no matter how bad what it's shining on, turn that light away, it's as pure as the day it started, because the light is transcendent. Is not the light transcendent to what it's shining on? It takes the shape of what it's shining on, but let it shine on for 3,000 years and turn the light away. It's just as clean as the day it shined. You, hi in there, you in there, hi, you in there, have nothing to do with your mind except you happen to be watching it. You have nothing to do with your heart except you happen to be experiencing it. You have nothing to do with your body except you happen to be looking through those eyes of this world. You are the consciousness. You are a great being. You are something very, very great. And you have love. You are love. All the love you ever felt when you feel love is you. It is literally you. Someday you will get back to that ocean of you, and you will realize it's love. And that I had separated myself from it by setting up all these conditions, and only if I let myself could I experience myself. So when you say you love somebody, it's not true. Oh, now I'm really in trouble. This is my idea of being romantic. It's not true. What you mean is, in their presence, I love what I experience inside myself. When I'm around that person, I love the self in me that shows up. When they leave that person, that self went away. A different self shows up inside of me. All right? So it's your inner state that you love, isn't it? That's why you can say, I love that painting. I feel this love whenever I'm in the presence of it. Inside of me, this beautiful being comes up. Like someone's bringing out the best in you. Someone's helping you tune into your own being. Well, that's beautiful. By all means, please thank them. Remember to thank them, okay? But do not think for one moment that you're not experiencing yourself, because that's what you're experiencing. So the net result is you come to the point where you get this deep enough to where you devote your life to removing the obstacles that you put in front of yourself so that you can't experience yourself. That's what it boils down to, right? And that obstacle is basically your mind. It is basically what we call the personal mind. What you have done with your mind should be illegal. You took the most beautiful thing in the universe, you. I'm serious. You are the most beautiful thing in the universe. And it doesn't matter what but you didn't know I did this. It doesn't matter. That's just the light shining on something that is irrelevant. Right? You are the most beautiful thing that was ever created. Period. Go look in the mirror and then look at who's looking in the mirror. Here's a perfect example. If I tell you to go look in a mirror, you're going to look at the reflection and judge it. Oh, she got a little fat. Oh, she got a pimple. Oh my God, I shouldn't go out. Oh my God, what's happening? I got a wrinkle. Oh, there's gray hair. Is that gray hair? Oh, no. You're going to look at it with your mind. You're going to look at this image that showed up in the mirror with your judgmental mind, and it's probably not going to be a pleasant experience. Some people actually don't have mirrors in their houses and they hide them. But net result is, that's one way to look in a mirror. When I tell you to go look in the mirror, I don't mean that. I would like you for once in your life to stand in front of a mirror and do not see the reflection of your face. Look in your eyes. Why? To see if you can see who's looking. I don't want you to look and see the reflection of your face. I want you to look and see who's looking at the reflection of your face. Who's in there looking out through those eyes at that? Go and look in the mirror and look right into the pupils. Look. Don't focus on what you see. Focus on who's looking. Because who's looking is who I'm talking about. You're beautiful, but you have separated yourself from yourself by looking at your mind. In fact, it's a perfect example of that reflection in the mirror. Instead of paying attention to you who's looking, you're too busy letting your mind judge what it's looking at. Come on, admit it. It's not easy to look at yourself. It gets pretty judgmental, doesn't it? That's your mind. That's not you. How about if I tell you this? You can't even see you in the mirror. You're in here somewheres. You don't have a weight. You don't have a gender. You don't have a suntan. You're just the being, the essence that's looking out. You see the body, but the net result is the mind, your mind, has developed this tremendous level of judgment of everything. Not just of you, of everyone and everything. And so we call that the personal mind. Why is it the personal mind? Because it's yours. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's yours. Yours is different than hers. Do you know that? That which yours gets all upset over and freaks out, she runs right toward it. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, look, a snake. Wow, look how big he is. Look, he's a rattler. Wow, he's rattling. Listen. Shh. Right? You're so far out of here. We're different, are we? Totally different about everything. That's the personal mind. What I like is, okay, you want to ready for your 10-second Psych 101 through Psych 1603? How did it get that way? Because of your past experiences. There, I'm done. It's so obvious, it's ridiculous. She had good experiences with snakes. Her brothers had them, and she loved her brothers. She was the little sister. They took care of her, and she had terrible experience with snakes. Her father made her go in the reptile thing, and she didn't want to see it. She pulled her in. Oh my God, she had trauma. You had past experiences. And since every single one of you had totally different past experiences, your personal mind is totally different than everybody else's. There is not a single person alive or ever was or ever will be who has the same thing in their mind that you do. Because you had totally different experiences. And some of those learned experiences make up your personal mind. They don't make up you. Well, who am I? The one who's looking at your personal mind. How do you know? Stop looking and it's gone. You are the light of consciousness that is shining on the personal mind. You are not the personal mind. And thank God, therein lies your liberation. Therein lies the way out. The way out is not to listen to the personal mind that is so full of it, it's ridiculous. What it did was take the experiences it had in the past that it liked and says, I can't be okay until those are the things that happen. Exactly like that happened before. And then it took all the experiences it didn't like and said, I can't be okay if there's even a thought that will ever happen. Oh, good, you'll never be okay. And that's what's going on in your mind. And if you're a normal human being, you then devote your entire life to figuring out how it needs to be outside so that all of that gets what it wants and doesn't get what it doesn't want. That's the human existence. And it is suffering. It is a terrible way to live. The second way you could do this is to go in there and get rid of that mind. Ooh, I laugh to say that. Get rid of the personal mind. It all got full of all these experiences. We need to get them out of here so they don't run my life and ruin my life, right? You will never do that. Do not even try. Do not even think about it. That it's just the experiences have happened. They left an impression on your personal mind. That's not the way out. The way out is so simple. Why are you watching? You're the consciousness. You don't have to pay attention to that. Like right now, I'm talking, and I could tell, because I can watch it in your eyes, that some of the time I'm talking, you're not listening to me. You're listening to your mind. Your mind started thinking about something or talking about something, and you went away. You said, you're cooking, or tomorrow, you're doing tomorrow or something, or I said something that reminded you of something, or maybe you didn't like what I said. So you said, I don't agree with that. I had a nice love affair once with somebody. It would have lasted, except they were, whatever. The point is, this guy's out here talking, me, and your consciousness has a choice. Do you want to pay attention to what I'm saying, or do you want to pay attention to what you're saying? In any event, you have a choice. You are the consciousness. What do you want to pay attention to? What does it mean, pay attention? Focus your consciousness. You are the light of consciousness. You know what it means, pay attention? What do you want to shine on? Do you want to shine on the mind? Do you want to shine on the heart? Do you want to shine on the object that's in front of you? And by the way, there's lots of objects in front of you. You don't see them all the same. If you're a guy who needs a girl, you see girls very different. And you don't even see all the girls the same. This one's too old, too young. You go, oh boy, it's amazing how there's only 3 people at the party. And if you're into food, then you always see the food. You are very busy paying attention to the things that you're interested in. But your attention can go anywhere. You're just shining the light on what you're looking for. How's that? As long as you're doing that, you get the wrong way. What you end up doing when you get wise with this, and it will save you lifetimes of growth and of anguish, is you sit there and say, and this is what I want you. I wish you'd say this every minute of your life. I am in here. That's where I live. And I'm fine. I'm fine. I didn't say my mind was fine, believe me. All right? I didn't say my heart was fine. Right? I didn't say every single thing outside in the world is exactly the way my mind wants it to be. I said, I'm fine. I need you to say that. I need you to start saying that. I'm fine. I'm fine. Your mind will not agree with you. But what we're trying to do is free you, liberate you from the addiction of shining on a mind that will never be okay. It has all these conditions. In other words, I'm sitting here saying, you're hungry, this food, let's go back to that person. Because he's all this time for an hour, he's starving to death, right? Because he won't eat. How do we tell this person, you can eat the food? No, I can't. I haven't found the person yet. Did you find the person? I can eat if you find the person. No. You can eat the food without finding the person. Oh no, oh no. How do I break you of this habit so that you can eat your food? How do we break ourselves of this habit of listening to the mind that has created the problem, yet it's telling you it's the solution? The mind that told this person you can't eat until so-and-so shows up and feeds you like she used to. Trouble is she died 3 days ago and you're starving to death. But your mind is telling you you can't do it. You can't go to that mind and try to figure out how to do it, how to find the person. The very mind that caused the problem is trying to have the solution. The solution is to stop listening to the mind that's telling you that. The solution is to say, I am fine and I can eat right now, even though your mind says, no, you can't. There's affirmation. I am fine and I can eat right now. Now, first, you won't want to say it, will you? Imagine that person really addicted to this. I am fine and I can eat right now. At first, your body won't move because your mind controls your body. But you say it enough times, I am fine and I can eat right now, you'll start to question, maybe I can. And the minute you do, it's over. All right, the minute you do, what do I listen to that for? The food's right there. That is what it means to become self-realized. Is you wake up and you realize, I don't need to do this. All I need to do is to continuously remind myself, I am fine. I'm inside and I'm fine. Things are not the way my mind wants them to be. Things are not the way my mind wants them to be. And maybe things are the way my mind doesn't want them to be sometimes. But I'm fine. You have to be fine with that and you'll be fine. That's all it takes. What does it mean? How do I be fine? I want to be fine. Because when I'm fine, then I can start to feel the love and I can hang out with myself. I don't have to go running around and so on. What does it mean to be fine? The way to be fine is to say, I am fine. And your mind will say, but I'm not. And you will get to the point where that's okay. It's that easy. You don't have to get the world the way the mind wants it. You don't have to create situations. Listen to me. Right now, your mind thinks things might go wrong. Anybody got a mind like that? That thinks, oh my God, something could go wrong. Guess what? It's right. If it's going to define right and wrong, things are going to go wrong. Right? It's a question in the world that the mind can figure out a whole bunch of stuff that could go wrong, and it will. You have to be able to look at the mind and say, I'm very proud of you. I think it's very impressive that you figure out all these things to get scared about, right? I'm not going to convince you they can't happen. I'm really taking you very advanced right now. That's not the way out. I'll be okay once I make sure nothing bad can happen. You have to be able to look at that mind and say, I'm fine with the fact that you're not. That's your way out. Don't fight with it. Don't argue with it. Don't justify it. I'm fine. I'm in here. I'm shining on what you're saying. And I've watched you long enough to know that you will always find something wrong. And if there isn't something wrong, you'll be worried that there will be. Or you'll be upset that there was. Have you watched your mind enough to know what I'm saying is true? That thing will find something wrong with everything in it. So you're in there, I'm fine, and you need to learn to come to peace with your mind. That's a very different state than trying to make the world be the way your mind wants or trying to make your mind shut up. I don't want you fighting with your mind. Hang out with the self. Just be the one who's watching and realizing I'm watching a broken mind. How do I go about my business if my mind's broken? I found out. It took me a while, but I found out. Don't listen to it. You mean I don't have to listen to it? Who said you have to listen to the mind? So you're driving down the street and all of a sudden, here, I'm going to work. I'm driving, thing. And your mind says, God, it's a beautiful day. I'd rather go to the beach. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. I want to go to the beach. I should. Well, the boss said next time I go to the beach. See, I've done it before. It's not the first time the mind said that. He said, I'm going to get fired, right? So, that's your mind. So, don't like the job anyways. It can do that. You just have to decide whether you want to listen. That's all. You just get mature enough to a certain point where you say, I'm fine. I don't need to listen to that. I'm fine. I want to be fine at the beach. I want to be fine at work. I want to be fine anywhere. So I don't need to play that game. And you just learn to relax in the face of the talking head. And you just relax. You don't try to make things be the way it wants. You don't try to make it shut up. What you try to do is be comfortable living inside yourself. All you have to do is relax. And you will find that you are perfect. I mean, every one of you, I know it doesn't seem normal. You are perfectly capable of relaxing behind the mind. The mind does what it needs to do, but you don't participate. And because you're not participating, it can't manifest externally. It needs you to exercise your will. It needed you to stop the car and turn around and go back. Then the mind goes, oh, good, we're going to the beach. Right? But the mind was not capable of stopping the car, turning around and going the other way. You had to do that. You left your seat of objective observation and bought into what the mind was trying to sell you of what's necessary to be okay. The mind is the problem, not the solution. So you learn to relax in the face of that. And what you will find is that little by little, one, you stop creating so much commotion in your life, and then you start realizing, why am I going to judge all these things if I'm not going to do anything about it? The mind stops judging so much. In the Buddhist teachings, they talk about the burdensome practice of judging. That's what the mind does. You will learn to relax behind it, and over time, you will feel lighter. Why? Because you're not carrying the burden of the weight of your own mind. And all of a sudden, I'm just lighter. Can you imagine going to a party or going someplace where there are other people and just being there, not caring what they think of you, not worrying about whether your hair looks good or whether this is happening or whether George is there talking to Sally too much? Like, all the things that can go wrong make you a neurotic mess. And believe me, your mind will remind you of all of them, won't it? What if you could just go and be there? What a funny thing. What a funny concept. Well, what will I do? You just be there with who's there. You just see what's happening. And it becomes so much fun just to be alive, just to experience things. And then you will honestly see what it is like to not need, because you start to feel this joy well up spontaneously inside of you. And you will at some point, I'm getting advanced now, notice it's coming from deep inside of you. What is? Ecstasy, joy, love, bliss, call it whatever you want. It'll knock you off your feet. Ever get blown away by love? It just rushes up, you can't even see straight, your eyes close. I want you feeling that all the time. I want the problem that you have in your life is, well, how do I go about my business? I'm feeling all that. That's the problem I want to hear you're having. I want you to get mad at me. Come on. Oh, I'm having trouble. Oh my God, I can't drive. I can't go places, all right? There's all this ecstasy starts pouring up inside of me. Good, very good. I like that problem, all right? And it can be solved. Really, you can learn to drive while all this going on. It's just amazing what you can do. Really, when that much joy is welling inside of you, it's hard to think. It's hard to think when you're feeling love and so on, right? You can literally learn to do math and do things even though all that joy is welling up. You have a level of life you've never dreamt of. And your whole being becomes so wholer because you're not wasting all your energy on your personal mind. It's either bothering you or you're bothering yourself by trying to do what it says. And so you just liberate yourself from yourself. And you do it by learning to be comfortable with the fact that your mind is not comfortable. I swear, I'm not going to talk more, we're out of time. But it doesn't sound like a technique, does it? I didn't teach you special meditations and so on. You need to learn to be comfortable that your mind's not comfortable. Sometimes it just freaks out, doesn't it? You mind your own business, it's a nice day, all of a sudden it starts freaking out. It gets weird. Well, I'm okay with that. I am the light of consciousness watching a freaky mind. Anybody else have a freaky mind or just me? I am the consciousness watching it. And I think it's adorable. It's cute as a button. I give it all the room it needs. But I don't do a single thing, not one single thing that it says to do. And eventually it catches on. And it just quiets down. And at some point, it looks up and it realizes it's out here trying to make everything be the way it wants. And all of a sudden, it looks back and it realizes, wait a minute, he's having all that fun back there. I'm freaking out. He's back there having a good time. I want to go up there. And your mind will start to reach up instead of out. When it's not okay, it won't look out for somebody or something. It will reach back to a higher seat of consciousness and just quiet down. Now you got somewhere. You found your seat of self. All right. So basically, we started with love. We ended up with everything. Because this all comes from the same place. It's all the same thing. You are beautiful. You're beautiful. You don't need anything. You'll end up with everything. Why? Because everybody wants to be around somebody that high. You understand? You have to fight them off with a stick. But you won't need anything. Right. Work on these things. Jagrat.